looks pretty familiar. I recognize that from Instagram feed. Hey, where's your PPE? Look at that. Now, I've never seen the blue in person, but that is one of the main reasons that I'm excited about being here. Finally made it here, and the weather looks like it's holding out, so I think we're gonna be able to get something done. But I think what I really wanted to do was get you guys caught up to speed and kind of show you what Jordan's already done in preparation for us to be here. Got all the framing for the first floor done, so let's get out there and let's say hi to Jordan and see what's going on. All right, we finally got here, and it's pretty cool. Greg, gotta also say big thanks to Greg. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up for Greg, because without him, a lot of these shots probably won't be possible because I'm gonna be busy working.
Not supposed to be filming this, because this is off the record behind the scenes.
Yes, this is for the behind the scenes YouTube video that no one will see. Jordan, the biggest thing that I wanted to share was what you've done so far. You keep talking about this LP all-in-one or whatever. What are we calling it?
LP whole home.
Okay, so whole home LP, but what that actually means and what you've done and what you've used, that is all LP.
Yeah.
Because most people hear LP and they think smart side.
Yeah, yeah. So everything that you see, minus the dimensional lumber, is LP product here. I-joists, our legacy subflooring, our solid start LSLs, our solid start LVLs, the weather logic, the tape, everything is LP, which is cool because normally, I'm going to get a lot of flack on this, I know, but normally you would see a stem wall foundation even on a pier and beam. This soil here is so expansive that
because it's sandy-ish and stuff and it moves.
It's sand and then clay underneath. The clay's the real problem, and what people do in this area of the world is they scrape all the sand off, which is pretty good because sand doesn't like to expand and contract. We have so much foundation settling issues in this part of the world that we can't afford to pay Nolan Ryan, frickin' Nolan Ryan. He's the spokesperson for Old Sham Foundation Repair. Like, there's a foundation repair company that's making so much money that they pay Nolan Ryan to come out and talk about foundation repair. So this foundation system's a lot different than what you normally see.
Yeah, I mean, not that it's what we're here for, but selfishly, I'm interested in this because I've had so many people ask me, dude, why don't you use one of these pier systems? Which, tell me about this. I mean, who did this for you?
So the guys are called Be Right There. They are a anchoring service out of Houston. In this part of the world, we use this a ton for oil and gas applications.
Okay.
Because it's a great, strong foundation and it's temporary. It can be temporary. We put it in the ground and then we can unscrew it when we're done.
So how deep did you go with these?
That's the cool thing about this. So this one over here at the far right-hand side of the corner is 7 feet before we got 5,800 pounds of torque on it. So that's the controlling factor on this. It's just like a torque wrench. We can know how much vertical force these will take based off the torque that we put them in with. So we're looking for 5,800 pounds for 3 feet with this double helix design. As you change your helices and as you change your diameters and the number of them, all of those numbers change for your load. But we were looking for 5,800 pounds of torque for 3 feet, and then we know that that was going to take that's going to take 70,000 pounds of vertical load and 50,000 pounds of pull out.
So when you say for 3 feet, you mean once you hit that number, you go 3 more feet?
Yep, and it has to hold. So this one hit and held at 7 feet, so it really hit at like 4 feet, and then it took 3 feet, and we were like, all right, we're good. You move 20 feet over, just 20 feet over, we hit that same pocket, but about 1.5 feet, it dropped again. The torque fell off. And we went down another 20 feet.
No kidding?
Yeah, so we're a total at 24 feet, 23 feet over on this side, 20 feet away before we hit it again.
So if you were doing traditional foundation, it'd be nice and sturdy here, and over here is where your cracking happens.
So when people spend big bucks for a foundation in this part of the world, they excavate everything away, and then they come back in with clay. Well, they excavate everything away, they put bell-bottom piers in. and then they backfill, they put a foundation on top of that, and everybody says good, off of a soil report. But it depends on where your soil report was taken, right? If we took it there, we'd say, all right, we should be good at a 10-foot. Wow. And over here, it's like, well, you got to go all the way down to 20 foot.
Yeah.
And you really don't know, because then you start hitting some other, you know, water pockets and stuff that deep. And it just, this is really cool because you have absolute feedback for every single point of your foundation.
Yeah, and the reason I'm interested in that is because obviously we're building these big post frames that are setting on a concrete pier that I'm assuming is good at depth. Now we're in a little bit different soil conditions where it's, I mean, we know we're in like this, what we call, I can't think of the name of it now actually, but it's a very good clay, dirt, black dirt. So it's almost always solid, but knowing that when you build a large structure or anything, that you have that is what I'm, and would you say cost-wise, how quick did they, how many days?
You could install all this in a single day.
Okay.
All of these in a single day, if you do the layout. I've been watching all your stuff on layout. The guys who installed this should watch your stuff on how to do layout, because
they just need an LA 180 to be a level.
They came out and they pulled lines, and clearly the crew was good at installing them, but they're used to oil and gas, to where the engineer puts a pin here, here, here. This is, so they roll up and there's a pin everywhere that they need to put it, and they drop it right there. Here I give them a print that said, I want my first pin here, I want it set at this angle. You lay it out. And that, you could tell this was sort of their first rodeo on that. But once they got it laid out, man, they
you don't have any of these, but you have on your channel all of this process, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go check out Jordan Smith Builds on YouTube, and you can see a lot of the process, because obviously it's already done. We're not going to be able to look at it, but definitely interested in the pier system. All right, let's do a walkthrough of the building if you
so
you can. And
if you step back and look at it, the design intent on this was to make it look like, obviously it's a farmhouse, but we didn't want it to look like these huge monstrosity. We've got two different buildings. This was the original building here. They've added on this room out front. There's another add-on in back for the kitchen. When we walk through, you'll see some walls that were blown out. And then this building was found at a later date, drug up beside it. We have a portal between the two. And then that is, so our siding, the LP Smart side, is going to be lap on this side. And we're going to do board and batten on that side to create, but it's all going to be painted white. But it's going to create that, the visual cue. The pitches are different. Exactly. And then the portal between, we're going to do standing seam up, over, and down.
What are you going to do for roofing? Standing
seam metal. You know, this is an LP house. In order to design it, build it as quickly as we needed to, I had to do it spec. Because I can't have a homeowner having opinions while I'm trying to get this thing designed and built in 3 months, right? So, or designed into this point in 3 months. So this is spec, and you know, the price point between composition and metal and then standing seam are, you know, they're big jumps. But in this part of the world,
it's pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, and people out in the country especially will pay for that peace of mind. That, you know, my roof, some of these roofs now have like 50-year warranties on them, which is crazy, right? So it's a better product, and I'm hopeful that we'll get our money back out.
I think so.
Back out of it.
Do you want to walk through and show me some of these products?
Let's walk through.
Look at this hold down. Look at all them nails. Imagine not having a gun for that. How many nails are in this, you think? I mean, because I'm assuming that goes in further, and that's what's holding it to the...
Exactly. So we're using drop down there. So we're using timber lock screws, both to hold our beams together. Because this is a pretty substantial. We've got 2-ply, 3-ply, in some cases. Well, on the back side we've got 4-ply dimension.
11 7/8.
So this is all 11 7/8 on the back side, where the 4-ply it's 10, because I have to have a drop down for my deck. So, and I don't have enough space underneath. And then we've got the same timber lock coming up through the bottom, holding this whole house to these. They're not in there yet.
No, I just want to look at the...
So here's what I'm going to get flack about, and I want to hear you. So you see how we didn't do any groundwork here, at all.
Just grass.
It's just grass. Which is weird and different. My thinking is, over there where we're actually filming all of it, I put the landscaping black, because I didn't want LP having to answer a bunch of questions all like, what kind of Yahoo is doing?
Just building over top of the side.
But here, you can put it in. We're going to put our skirting in, and that's going to block out all the light. All the vegetation down there is going to die. We can go back and put that, and I might on future, I'll probably end up putting that gardening stuff underneath there just to sort of help the fit and finish. And I might do it on this one too. But I didn't want to do it too soon because I've got plumbers underneath there.
Yeah,
I've got
just get ruined anyway.
Exactly.
I think that's a smart move.
So anyway, the impact on this, it's basically I call it a Yeti cooler on popsicle sticks, right? Because I'm going to put insulation underneath.
What kind of insulation?
We're doing a fiberglass bat.
Yeah.
Problem with fiberglass bat is it doesn't do any air sealing.
Nope.
So you can't just do that. So I'm going to seal it all with XPS rigid foam board on top of that.
Which is basically like doing spray foam, only not having a guy under there crawling and leaning on his back.
Exactly. And spray foam's great. I would do spray foam. Two things that are preventing me from doing spray foam. Not preventing me, but one, I want to encapsulate those eye joists. I want to keep those. I want to keep that bottom beam clear of any moisture for longevity. Not a huge deal. There's a lot of things that last a long time without it. And then second, price point, I'm going to be able to insulate this with fiberglass and foam, get my R value up to something like R15 to R18.
It's all about the R sealing.
Totally different for you
no,
up there.
It's actually very similar because we've had this exact conversation, and Matt Reisinger was the one that kind of said, hey dude, you're building a Yeti cooler with a roof system on it. Don't worry about all the haters saying you need to do this, that, and the other. Encapsulate it, stop the air, and you will be fine.
Air infiltration is the number one. So on this, we're going to be shooting for, we're going to be doing aero barrier on it too.
Oh, cool.
So we're shooting for sub 0.6 air changes per hour. So this is literally...
Is that passive?
Yeah, that's passive. That's passive. I'm going to turn my phone off. Probably do that too.
Yeah, I think the thing that most people will look at this and say, okay, come on, is we all know how amazing these are. Everybody wants to use them.
Yeah.
What have you and your guys noticed, like framing this whole thing with these guys instead of traditional lumber?
So if you have the means, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Right?
I wanted to build my post frames out of this stuff because of how straight it would be.
It's phenomenal. You'll see when we get over to this side, we've got a 27-foot wall that you can set a laser down and you'll hit every single stud down.
Start straight, it'll be straight.
It's just, but see, we're using this for our plates too. So as long as you have, the only thing you can screw up on this is plumb.
Yeah.
Right. That's
because this snap line down here is going to be straight with that piece of top plate.
So as long as the first time that you put in the stud and you throw your level on there and you're in your bubble, the rest of it's going to be start and the end.
Yeah.
You know, you get your start and your end straight. Everything in between is perfectly straight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got all LSL, which this is, I mean, does this come in other dimensions? Like you got 2x6 walls?
So we have 2x6 walls on all of our exterior to get my insulation up high enough. Yep. Doing California corners everywhere so we can tuck back in behind. 2x4. The headers, here's something that I learned.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the headers actually, over here specifically. I didn't know what's missing.
Yeah, so same thing. So this has been a learning experience. LP has graciously donated this material. So awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But LP can't get me the material. They can't just ship me product.
Got to come from somewhere.
So I call my BMC, my distributor, say, hey, I need LP product, and they're going to buy it from you. Like, well, we can't buy it from LP. We have to go to our distributor, and that distributor has to. So there's this big. So every time I need a piece of material, it's like, well, let's wait 6 days because it's got to do this. But anyway, these showed up, and these showed up in 20-foot sections.
3.5 inches.
3.5 inches. 3.5 inch LSL. And I called them back and I said, look, I don't think we got all the right material because I only have 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
I've either got the bigger 12-inch or 11.75 and the smaller, but it's all 3.5 inches.
Okay.
So this is rated right here, even though we've got this space. This is rated for the full load.
So that'll just be filled in with some dimensional lumber.
We'll put and it's still, we'll have to do dimensional lumber and then sandwich a piece of sheathing there to get it fleshed out for my sheetrock guys. What's cool about this that I thought of later is like, if you were doing exterior insulation, and you pulled this in,
I was gonna say
that'd be a perfect way of adding a little bit more.
Get that thermal break up there.
Exactly.
Very cool. So this is their Subfloor.
It's waterproof. I let it rain last night just so we could see.
That's nice.
Just so we could see the waterproofness. We gotta get it.
How long has this been down?
That has been down for 3 weeks.
Okay. The no cupping here.
No cupping.
Like it's 100% smooth. Now is this self-gapping on the ends?
This is self-gapping on the end. So we have an 1/8 inch gap all the way around. This is following the APA subfloor guidelines. So we are gluing and nailing it. We use the pass load Tetra grip nailer.
Okay.
That's, you know, gives you the benefits of a screw, but you just blow and go.
Yep.
It's a collated nail.
Are your floor joists 16 on center?
16 on the bottom, 19 up top.
19.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that number come from? Because they're bigger, and this can rate it.
So this is what's cool. I don't know how all suppliers work, but with Snavely, the people who LP sells to, they do all my engineering for me. So I sent them. They do the framing engineering.
Okay.
I should say. You know, the foundation is engineered.
Sure.
The whole package is engineered, but as far as like where every beam goes, I send my plan and where my piles are, and the piles were designed by PE that said, okay, he's an expert on the piles. He's like, you're putting this much load on it, you need to be here. And what's cool about the piles is these are stiff enough that I could literally have 6 across this whole house and they would hold the house. But I can't span.
Yeah, the wood won't span
I
that
freaking
far.
can't span that far. So I was pushing it because, you know, I'm getting these LVLs. I'm like, hey, how far can we? Because the further I can go, the cheaper it.
Yeah, this is solid.
So we came up with about a 12 foot. We've got about a 12-foot gap between each one of my piles, and then we've got our LVLs underneath that. And I sent the foundation plan to Snavely and said, here's what I've got. And they came back with a very detailed, this is exactly the lumber package you need. And what's cool about it is it comes pre-cut. So every single one of these I-joists and every single one of these LVLs, I didn't get a stack of LVLs. I didn't get a stack of I-joists. I got 13 foot. I got 14 foot. They're on the 1 foot dimensional. So the good thing is we only had like maybe 6 or 4 inches of scrap each time. The bad thing is they sent us some 13 footers where I really needed 14 foot, and that was on their end. Yeah. That was their problem. But still, you don't have the flexibility of like, I just got material, let's blow and go. But you know, we have one dumpster out there that this whole framing job's been done and it's about half full.
That's crazy. Yeah. I think the other thing, and I was thinking, you know, this is at 19-inch center. I've never even seen that.
Yeah.
It's either 16, 24, 12, whatever. But I think that's because non-engineered materials, it's kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
With engineered, I mean, they can say this is good, you know, for exactly this, and you're going to get a spec that you are after, and there's no guesswork. You know, like I'll frame with a traditional 2x12 thinking that's good enough, but you don't know what that tree, how long it was there. You don't know exactly what it's rated for. So that's my interest. I'm very interested in that.
The 2 drawbacks that I'm aware of on this, one's easily correctable with the right gun and compressor.
Yes.
This stuff is hard.
It's hard.
I mean, shooting through 1 into dimensional lumber, you can have a traditional gun at 120 PSI. You trying to put 2 or 3 of these together, and you got to have a large diameter piston, and you got to be up at 140 PSI. So we have 2 different compressors out here, 120s and one that'll go up to 140. And the only ones we use out here is the ones that go up to 140 because we need that extra
Do you see that when you're doing like through a plate into an end grain?
Yep.
Still?
Yep.
Because it's just so dense.
You still get it. The second drawback that I've heard about, I've never experienced because I don't burn down houses, but a lot of firefighters are commenting on this engineered lumber not having the fire rating, the time span.
Sure, I could see that. So you're thinking that because the engineered, like specifically the I-joist, being so thin, they can burn quick.
Exactly. So they get their strength just like your steel I-beams. You've got your web that's only resisting shear, and you got compression. If we're loading it this way, you got compression and you got tension, right? Yep. So we're only concerned about these big pieces of material on either side. That's taking all of our strength, and this is just resisting shear. But if that burns, now this doesn't have anything to work against that, and it's done. So that's
But I think in all cases, fire is bad. In a house.
Yeah.
I mean, get out and call your insurance man and get it fixed.
Exactly.
This is where we get to work.
All right, good. So he left some of the work for us. That's good.
Of course, we picked
the steepest pitch that we could find.
Yeah, for the roof.
For the roof.
What are we putting on for sheeting?
We're doing Tech Shield.
Okay.
So that's the LP Radiant barrier stuff. It's got the
structural LP, like basically it's this with a foil.
Yep. It's
just layman's terms.
Yeah. It's OSB with the foil on it. Foil side down, guys. You'll hear us say that a ton. You would be surprised at how many times you drive by these subdivisions and you see a bright, shiny roof out there. Foil side down.
So explain that. That's so the heat doesn't radiate through?
All right, so you've got heat transfer in 3 different ways: convection, conduction, and radiation, right? So convection is through the air, right? It's heat coming in through the gas of the air. We stop that by making this airtight, right? Conduction is heat moving through a material. We stop that by putting fluffy stuff in there to stop the air moving around, and then it can't move through there. Radiation is how the sun's heat gets down to us. It's colder today because we've got this cloud cover over us and we're not able to feel directly that sun's radiation. That's why when you go into shade, it gets cooler. Well, when the sun is radiating, it emits energy into this material on a roof decking, and then that will re-emit on the backside. And it re-emits based off of a coefficient called emissivity. So every material...
It's a freaking lesson here. I'm learning. This is great.
Every material has an emissivity rate.
Okay.
Aluminum has a super low emissivity. It doesn't want to emit heat. Think a cast iron stove, right? Cast iron stove, you stand by it and you feel its warmth, right? Because it's radiating the heat off. So it's not 100%, it doesn't 100% correlate to color, but it's pretty close for somebody who's not very smart like me. I'm like,
simple.
Black.
I'm a simple post framer, Jordan, okay, from the Midwest.
Black is going to emit more.
Yeah, okay.
Silver is going to not emit as much. So it's not reflection. It's not the same principle as if we had a bright white roof on the top.
So is that what guys are thinking, you think?
I think
they're putting it upside down.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's going to reflect the sun's light away, right? I know how a mirror works. It's not the same.
That won't be detrimental to the OSB because radiation is not the same as like other things that are detrimental.
The temperature of the OSB, I guess theoretically, will be slightly higher, but not really, because this energy is already in the OSB. It just keeps it from going outside this side of OSB, and it emits.
It's not like a double.
Exactly. You're not putting more energy in. You're just only letting that energy go out mostly on this side. So it keeps that heat from radiating into your attic, and then it heats up your ceiling, and then it heats up you, and you have to turn on the air conditioner. Yeah. We're not building this.
This is straight spec.
This is straight spec.
Okay. Have you had any takers, any luck?
We haven't officially put it on the market yet. We wanted to get through all of this, LP stuff.
YouTube, there's a lot of you out there.
Belleville, Texas. 45 minutes to Houston.
And you will be able to watch how well this place is built with some of the best building materials possible. So that's a great advertisement.
Thank you. You'll get my commission check,
perfect.
right? 3%. You got it.
Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for the walkthrough. I'm excited to help you out on some of this. I'm excited to learn a little bit about the product myself. And you've already got your hands on it, so
yeah. So far so good.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, the rain's a perfect example. I mean, this has been out here all night, and it's smooth.
Yeah. Do you know cost on this stuff?
I don't.
That's the thing that I need to figure out is, okay, a 2x6 LSL 10-footer, what does it cost? Because I know that's a big thing that people will want to know, and I will try to do that and make sure, if you are interested in all that information, tune in to Jordan's channel at Jordan Smith Builds. Make sure you get those notifications turned on for my channel so you don't miss any of the future videos, and I'll try to get a lot of that information in one of these upcoming videos. I wanted to just kind of introduce you guys to Jordan, kind of do a walkthrough of his project that he's already started and show you what's going on, and yeah, just kind of introduce you to it. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Jordan, let's get this thing going, man.
Awesome.
All right. It's a good example of why you guys want to use engineered lumber. This is good for about nothing but a bracing board.